1 in 5 households have no wage earner in the household. So is it time to have a moratorium on immigration? Hey guys, LP here. I am at the auto parts store, the Zone of Autos. It's my vent line on my fuel tank on the Harley finally took a dump on me. Been smelling fuel. So I got me a little bit of fuel line. Hopefully it'll stay in my pocket till I get home. Once again, beautiful day, sunny Southern California. Little snow left on the mountains up there. I don't know if you can see that. But it is going by the wayside quickly. So should we take the long way home? You know what, let's do. We're not under pressure. We're not pressed for time. So what's the topic of today, my friends? You know what? I want to address a topic that I've been meaning to address. McKaylee7, one of my favorite motovloggers, brought this up some months ago. I've been avoiding the political arena for a while, but I think I'll jump back in. Converse about politics with you. And in Mike's video, he was talking about immigration and how the country was founded on immigration and all the great inventions that we have had. I think he brought that up. It's been a while since I saw it. That have come from immigrants, of course. There's not a huge lot of inventions by Native American Indians that I know of. Although they're pretty good at casinos and things like that these days. They didn't invent them. But with all the constant news about Trump and being anti-Muslim and anti-immigrant and all that stuff, I just thought I would throw myself into the fray here and say that when do you say enough's enough? When do you say, okay, we've got enough people in this country right now? We still got huge numbers of people on public assistance, American citizens on public assistance. We've still got a real unemployment rate of around 20%. 1 in 5 households have no wage earner in the household. So is it time to have a moratorium on immigration? A little loose sand there. One of my favorite speakers on said topic is a very controversial speaker named Ann Coulter, who, of course, everybody that leans liberal thinks she is just the devil. One racist woman. But actually what she says makes a lot of sense to me. And I don't think she's racist at all. I think she is just saying that we've got a lot of people unemployed and needing work and struggling to make ends meet here in the U.S. And maybe it's time to shut down the immigration and put some people back to work for a little while. Get the real unemployment rate down to 4%, not the unemployment rate that the politicians use, which is the number of people who are actually getting a check, which anybody that's ever drawn unemployment knows that you get unemployment for 6 months, and that's it. You've got 6 months to find a job. Now, the federal government can issue emergency extensions on that if the economy is bad enough. And that literally takes an act of Congress, I guess. I don't know, maybe it's within the executive power to allow those extensions. But the point is that we've got a lot of a lot of unskilled labor still pouring into the country. And what Ann Coulter's point of view is, you know, I get it. Let's get the best and brightest in here to be doctors and lawyers and Indian chiefs. To let a bunch of people into your country to flood the unskilled labor market is just not a wise thing for us to do at this point in time. Maybe later on it will be. You know, we got 300 million people in the United States, and that's enough. If our population starts to, you know, go down, then maybe we ought to think about letting large numbers of people come in here. But until that point, until two people get together and only make one person, you know, and the population starts to dwindle, I'd say 200 million is a pretty good number for the U.S. You know, that would keep the labor markets competitive. You know, everybody says, who's going to do all these jobs, work on all these farms? I don't know. You know, I don't know how people raise their kids anymore. I was throwing hay bales on a hay wagon when I was 13 years old, working on neighbors' farms, and brother worked at a dairy farm. When he was that age, he started working on a dairy farm and milked the cows. And there's got to be a place for a young person to get some experience working. And Mike Rowe's got a good sense of this whole thing about, you know, our culture, our American culture has decided that a college education is the best thing to do. So now you got people with college educations just for the sake of having one, just so they can get into the job market. And all these unskilled immigrants that are flooding into the country, maybe they're coming here to pick fruit or vegetables or something at first, but they want the American dream just like every American wants the American dream, and they are not going to be satisfied picking fruit for the rest of their lives. They're going to learn a skill. Maybe they'll never become legal, but they'll eventually learn a skill, and they are going to be competing with an American citizen with that skill, whatever that may be. So the bottom line for me is today, you know, if the young people that we are, you know, birthing and raising and educating in the United States are not capable of competing in our own economy, and that's an intrinsic problem in our culture that we need to address. And I say the first way to begin to address that is to limit immigration. First is the unskilled labor. Then we need to examine our educational system, determine why it is that we need to import brain surgeons from other countries to get the best of the best. So that, my friends, is my thought of the day. And if you like this thought of the day, I'm sure I will have more highly conservative commentary in the near future. Feel free to peruse the other videos on my channel, like this video, and of course subscribe if that's your kind of thing. I don't always talk about politics, but when I do, I like to drink a cold cerveza. This is LoudPipes. My friends, I am out of here. Maybe somebody stole the cop car and he's just weaving around. I trimmed my windshield down about 3 inches. Hey, here's the only twisties in my area. Woohoo! Wasn't that fun? Alright. Now back to boring straight lines.